If you are not sitting down, you might want to. Remember how you gave $700 billion to bail out our nation's failing banks? Did you expect that money would then be loaned to projects here in the United States to get our economy rolling? Well, you might want to think again. The bank Citigroup, who got at least $45 billion, made an $8 billion loan to the government of Dubai. Bank of America, who got $45 billion of your money, made a $7 billion investment in China Construction Bank Corp. And J.P. Morgan, who got $25 billion, made a $1 billion investment in India. Congressman Dennis Kucinich is chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Domestic Policy Subcommittee, and the congressman joins us here. Congressman, did you know, I mean, were you aware that, did you expect that some of the TARP money would go overseas?
No. As chairman of domestic policy, what I wanted to do was to find someone who could tell us where the money's going, because we know the banks are getting the money. You stated how much they were getting, but what we didn't know is how they're spending it. And so what I've done is to bring people forward who are telling us for the first time, through their ability to gather massive amounts of information, be able to report it sequentially, that in fact, instead of putting the money back into the states that we would expect Bank of America to put all the money into, that a substantial portion of those TARP funds, and they will say, well, they weren't the TARP funds, but a substantial portion of investment was made in China construction after Bank of America got TARP funds.
Well, when the money was given to the bank and this bailout, were there strings attached? Because if I were running these banks tonight, I'd think if there are no strings attached, I can't help the Congress are a bunch of dummies and didn't put strings on it.
Well, you know, there are laws that Treasury is supposed to follow to make sure how the money's spent, and this is a matter of public policy. If you're being told, as we're being told, that our economy is falling apart in this country, you would think, when you tell the taxpayers you need $700 billion in order to right the economy, that the money's going to go back in the states. You would think that.
I guess I would think that Congress would at least, if they're going to loan our money or give it, that they would put some strings attached and say, this is what we want you to do with it so that you don't do this.
Should the bill have been more defined? You bet. I voted against it. I thought that the whole idea of these bailouts was anathema. It was wrong for the kind of society we have, the kind of economy we have. But here we are. They did the bailouts, and they don't keep track of how the money's being spent. So finally,
what do you mean they don't keep track of it?
They don't. They know they give the bank $45 billion plus $300 billion in loan guarantees.
And say, good luck. Here's your money. Good luck.
It's like an honor park, and so we have to have accountability. That's what these hearings were about, and our domestic policy subcommittee is going to continue to insist on accountability. The American taxpayers.
But this is a terrible time to have accountability. After this is 6 months later, they've gotten all the money.
You're telling me that's why I held a hearing.
Well, with all due respect, I'm glad you held the hearing, but why did you wait until now?
No, I'm the first person on Capitol Hill who was able to get somebody to come forward and say that the money is being spent in ways that are absolutely contrary to what was anticipated by the American taxpayers.
And what does everyone else say? What about the other members of your committee today? What did they think?
There was unanimity among members of the committee about how
Republicans and Democrats.
Yes, we agree on focus on what we need to do to restore the American economy, and don't tell us that by giving tens of billions of dollars abroad that you're somehow going to help create jobs here. We're losing jobs here. Major industries are laying off jobs.
650,000 in February alone.
Right. So you have major unemployment here. It's getting worse. Industry's in real trouble here, and we ought to be using. It's not unreasonable to expect American tax dollars to go to help the businesses in this country. This isn't a global bailout.
Let me ask another question, and if you can't answer it, and I didn't even tell you I'd ask you this when I came here, so go ahead and not answer.
Go for it.
All right. The numbers that are in the stimulus bill, like let's say it says $2,375,000,000, $287,000 for something, whatever. How do they come up with these numbers?
That's come up with the Office of the Congressional Budget Office in consultation with the various committees.
And how do they come up with those?
Based on reports that are pretty much
Is it guessing?
been in the mill. No, it's not guessing. I mean, there are needs in this country.
I understand their needs, but where do these actual numbers come from?
Congressional Budget Office. That's how it comes. We have a budget committee, and they work on this all the time. Now,
so you'll stand by all the numbers and all the stimulus bills?
How can you stand by the numbers? I mean, you don't really know.
So you won't stand by? You can't stand?
I would say that you're given a budget. We were given this omnibus spending bill.
Right.
That contained all the federal spending that hadn't been approved in the last Congress. We were brought before us in this Congress. A bill about this high. So you're really voting, and the reason why I voted for it, you know, reluctantly, but I did vote for it because back in Cleveland, Ohio, people need health care, education, jobs. That's why you vote for it.
I realize that you need it, and I'm all for satisfying the need.
Congressional Budget Office.
But you can't say that. Can you say that you stand by these numbers?
Well, you have to. You know, you have to have a certain amount of trust that the numbers are real.
See, that's the problem. That's where I worry as a taxpayer, the trust. But I understand. But anyway. Thank you, Congressman. Always nice to see you, and good luck with your oversight. I hope you can track down our dough.
We'll keep at it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I know
Greta.
you will, sir.
Good to see you.